R.A.M.P. So have to give a shout out to my man Danny TwoGuns up in Erie. Largely helped inspire this ramp with all of his awesome FRC knowledge. So let's just get right into it. So the first drill we're going to do is our supine 3-6 breathing drill with a floor slide. So Sergio is going to start with his arms 90 degrees. If he can, he's going to put his elbows and the back of his hands on the ground. We're going to take a nice 3-second inhale in through the nose and fill up the belly with air. As we exhale, he's going to do that slide and squeeze down 360 degrees as he squeezes the air. When he inhales, we want to watch, make sure the air is going straight into the belly. Awesome, really good, man. Good. Exhale, squeeze it out. Supine 3-6 breathing with a floor slide. We're going to do 6 of these reps. Our next exercise is going to be a side lying 90-90 with a shoulder internal rotation circle cars. So he's going to come into side lying 90-90 position. So let's turn you this way, bud. Awesome. This elbow is going to go down onto the ground and match. Good. So when we line this up, we want to make sure we have right angles. So I'm going to ask him to take this hip back into extension just a little bit, and we're going to square this guy off. He's going to take his top arm, he's going to bring it up his back as far as he can into internal rotation. All right? And then he's going to drive 3 points of contact. We're going to drive in to both this foreleg and that top of that quad. We're also going to drive into the elbow, and now we're going to do 2 nice big cervical cars. So cars control articular rotations. So the biggest rotation he can do. What's really important here is we want to do this under tension. So the more stiffness he puts into that joint, the more tension, the bigger he can take a circle. If you go too fast or if you go too loose, it's going to be a lot smaller circles. So he really is kind of challenging those end ranges of motion. Good. That's really nice. You may speed up just a little bit, not too fast. So he'll do 2 circles in one direction, and then he'll do 2 circles in the opposite direction. And we're obviously going to do this on both sides. So after he does 2 neck rotations on each side here, he's going to flip the whole thing over, and we're going to do the other side. Make sure as you go through this, we're driving this knee, we're driving that, the whole top of that leg, and we're driving this elbow to create some core tension. Now, I think we'll just go back in. The next one we're going to do is a half kneeling, hip flexor stretch, and shoulder car. So come up into half kneeling position for me. Let's maybe go to this side. All right, come on up into half kneel on this side. Let's get this leg up. Awesome. So I would love to toe on this one, just because we're going to try to create as much tension as possible. Every time we're doing cars, we want as much tension as possible. So what he's going to do is he's going to tuck his bum under, and then he's going to glide forward into a nice hip flexor stretch. You feeling that stretch in your straight leg? Yep. Awesome. We're going to fist both arms. Everything else is tight. I'm squeezing my butt, my calves, my quads, and then I'm going to do 2 shoulder cars on each side. So I come up as high as I can. When I get to the top, I'm going to freeze. I'm going to reach up and externally rotate. And as I externally rotate, I'm going to continue to rotate, watch it turn, continue to rotate. He's going to end up with his hand backwards on his side. From there, he's going to shove his hand straight back as far as it'll go. He's going to stop there, he's going to freeze, he's going to internally rotate. He's going to continue to internally rotate that and try to cut down that angle. So what he's trying to do there is you'll get to a place and you'll feel, it's a little sticky, it's a little rough there, and that's exactly what to stretch right into that spot. Rotate right into the spot. One more on this side. The down knee is the arm that's going to do the rotation. Good. Reaching up, continually external rotate. Good. We're going to come back. Make sure when you come back, you freeze. We internal as far as we can before we move. Then we continue to internally rotate. Really awesome job, Serge. And then we're obviously going to flip that and do it on the other side. For time today, we're just going to show you the one side. Okay. Awesome. Quadruped on elbows, single leg hip extension, and ankle cars. So he's going to start in a nice square quadruped. So I want to make sure when he sets up that his hands are directly underneath his shoulders, that his knees are directly under his hips. So move your knees in just a little tiny bit. And then he has a nice neutral spine. A good way to find neutral spine is to bridge up like a cat, come down like a camel, all the way, and then find the center. going to be in a nice neutral spine. So from here, he's going to drop down onto his elbows. And what this does is it locks the lumbar region of the spine up. So then he's going to do a single leg hip extension. He's going to tighten his core, shove that heel straight towards the back wall. Never want the heel to go above the booty. And then he's going to do 2 ankle cars. So 2 big ankle rotations. And you heard he got a little crack, snap, crackle, pop out of that ankle, right? 2 in each direction. So 2 clockwise, 2 counterclockwise. Whole time squeezing the glute, squeezing down on the core. Awesome job, Serge. Good. And then he would come down, lock the core up, and he would go into his other side. Heel straight back towards the back wall. 2 nice big rotations. Looking awesome. Good. And then we're going to go the other direction. Keeping that glute squeeze, keeping that leg extension. Awesome. All right, this next one's my favorite. Straddle position, T-spine cars. So he's going to get into a full straddle. He has a really nice straddle here, right? So, and then what he's going to do is going to cross his arms over top of his chest, pull his chin down into his chest, and he's going to flex forward as far as he can. This is going to lock his hips in. So then we're going to start, we're going to rotate to the left. We'll laterally flex to the left. We're going to try to keep lumbar flexion and extend to the rear. So I'm going to keep that stable, and then I'm going to laterally flex to the right. I'm going to rotate to the right, and pull through to the middle. Then we'll do that again. We're going to rotate to the left, laterally flex to the left, extend to the rear, laterally flex to the right, rotate right through the middle. And I'll work it the other way. We'll show you all of these because people get a little bit confused on this one. So come on back up into neutral. Good. Same thing, pull forward and around. Good. Chin stays down in the chest. We're going to rotate right, laterally flex to the right, extend to the rear, keeping that lumbar flexed. Laterally flex to the left, rotate to the left, pull through. That feels awesome, right? Yep. We're going to rotate right, laterally flex right, extend rear, laterally flex left, rotate to the left, pull through to the middle. Awesome job, Mike. Next up, we have world's greatest stretch. So Serge is going to get up in a push-up position. Awesome. We want to make sure we're in push-up position. Hands are, again, right underneath the shoulders, nice stacked joints. He's going to step his left leg up next to his left hand. And then what he's going to do is he's going to fully straighten his back leg and dorsiflex into the ankle. So he's going to get as much, he's going to shove that heel towards the back wall as much as he can. This hand is going to come up onto his thigh. He's going to ball a fist up. He's going to punch his fist into his armpit and try to lay one forearm on top of the other forearm, and then he's going to reverse his rotation and reach for the ceiling. So we're getting a lot of nice T-spine rotation. Bring the hand back down to the ground, and then step it back. Yep, hand back down onto the ground, and just step it back into position. Now we're going to go the other side. I'll show you this on both sides so that you can really get a good idea of what he's doing. Step the hand up. Remember, we're going to straighten the back leg and get all the range out of the ankle. That's why this is called the world's greatest stretch, because we're getting a lot of stuff. We're getting ankle stretch, we're getting hip separation, and also some really good T-spine rotation. Hand goes up onto the thigh. We make a fist, punch the fist into the armpit, try to lay forearm on top of forearm, and then we just extend the other way. Don't forget to breathe. If you can do nice even breath in and out of your nose, that's always preferable. If you need, if you can't, you find in and out of your nose hard, in your nose and out of your mouth. Let's try not to breathe in through our mouth. Good. He'll do one more rep on each side just because it feels good. One more. Let's do one more. The prescription is 3 per side. He's going to do 2 today just to save some time. Good. We're going to punch it up in. And we're going to stretch it out now. Awesome. Our next exercise is going to be a bent knee lateral mini band walk. So depending on the strength of your mini band, these are pretty tough. So I'm going to have him actually slide this one up towards his knee. The lower you go down on your leg and the thicker the band, the harder it's going to be. So for today's purposes, I would say with this thickness of band, most people are going to be right below the knee. If you have a smaller band, it may be down around the ankles or even out around the feet. So as he walks laterally, a couple things we want to watch. We want to keep the feet perfectly straight. So I don't want to be turning my toes out. I'm actually going to resist that desire desire to externally or internally rotate. The other thing we want to do is we want to keep our belt even. So when I walk, when I take my steps, I don't want to hike my hips up like this. I simply want to push off this foot and pull with this foot. So he's going to do a lot of work to keep that pelvis nice and level. So I like to do it with my hands on my waist so it's really easy to see if you're hiking or if you're just stepping. And then what he's going to do is he's going to push off his outside foot, take a step, making sure that when he takes the second step, when he pulls in, he doesn't narrow his feet too much. So he's going to keep the separation. Good. Awesome. Drive off that foot, pull with the back foot. What we should start to feel after a few reps, he's going to do 12 in one direction. We're going to run out of space, so he'll just do a half dozen here, and then come back the other way. What you're going to find is that glute medius gets really fired up. Okay. He's probably feeling it already. Right? Yeah. Awesome. Great job. So this next one is a standing hip cars with a dowel and wall core engagement. So he's going to stand at an arm's length to the wall, arms perfectly locked out and straight. The dowel is going to go right in front of his outside foot. So as he does this rotation, he's going to drive his hand into the wall. He's going to drive the stick down into the ground. That's going to create our radiation and some core tension. And then the task becomes he's going to bring this hip through a full range of motion. He's going to come the whole way up into flexion. He's going to open it straight out to the side. When he reaches end range of motion, he's going to take the foot towards the rear and the knee towards the rear. Good. Keeping that elevation. Awesome job, Serge. And what he's doing is he's challenging that sticky spot. You're going to find, watch, you got a little bit of a forward lean, so make sure when we're doing this leg is perfectly locked out straight. We're going to use that for radiation, but we're also going to use it to put more force into the joint. So he's going to do 2 in this direction. You can see he's really working hard. Make sure he keeps breathing. He's really challenging. You can probably go just a little faster than you're going. Although it's okay to slow it down and really challenge it. And then he's going to go 2 in the other direction. So first he's going to shove it. He goes straight back. Then he's going to move it up to the side. Watch that pelvis. Stand up nice and tall. And one more. We'll go straight to the back. Bring the knee out to the side. Again, always drive it here, drive it here. You can see the effort on his face, how hard he's actually working in this position. Good job, man. So 90 degrees into flexion. The arm with the leg that is actually reach in front of our hip down. What you're going to watch is the toe, make pointed at the ground, and we flat back. You can probably come back up into the back. We're going to do 5 of these, step back. So if you struggle to actually turn this instead of a single leg. So and now he's just going to reach that. Tap you around. There you go. And that's if you're really struggling with the balance. Right here is necessarily, so if you lose your balance and stable and tough, with that step back, most of the effect of the exercise. So for these, we're going to do 5. Good. You can do both sides, but that's all.